Hi, God. Thanks for the shine. Seriously. Okay, so it's late at night. Well, what time is it? It's about like 20:55, right? So we weren't going to do a bit today. But then, we were hanging out. We were watching the screen because we just did a bunch of work today. We did so much work today, right? So we were putting down our ideas and we were creating folders and files because we created Golgotha, right? We created the skull, right? So what the skull is, it's going to be a coffee house, man. Sort of kind of something like what this is right here, but then we wish for it to be in reality, right? In reality. And in this way, we're going to do this. And we're going to go set up, private membership associations where people can have coffee. That's it, man. Scary simple, right? But we wish to do it like this because we want the old school coffee shops to be back how they used to be, where people used to be able to go to these places and then they would be able to hear things like ideas, right? So you should be able to go to a place, grab a cup of coffee, get something to snack on or something like that, but then you're going to be surrounded by the word, man, right? That's just how we set it up. It's going to be so beautiful because it's basically, like what all the other coffee shops do right now, like Starbucks and, Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf, except it's going to be for private members only, right? So then that way, when you come in, you're going to get the word, man. The word is going to be surrounded. It's going to surround everyone that comes into the shop, man. That's the vision, right? Okay, so check this out, right? So we got a laptop bit that we're going to do. We got 1, 2, 3, and then we got like tabs, right? We got some tabs because, our mind is just on fire right now, right? So check this out, right? Here we go, right? So we're going to start off with the syllabus, right? We always want to start off with the syllabus. Remember this right here, right? There is a thinking substance from which all things are made, and which in its original state permeates, penetrates, and fills the inner spaces of the universe. That's God. Hi, God. I know what's up now, man. What's up? Okay, hold on. Excuse me. Had to burp, right? Okay, so check this out. Here goes number 2 on the syllabus, right? A thought in substance produces the thing that is imaged by the thought. Remember that, okay? Remember that. Is the camera crooked? I can't tell. All right, hold on. Let me see if I can bend it a little this way. All right. Boom, boom. Yeah, all right. There we go. So there goes the line now. All right, so that was number 2. Okay, so check this out. Number 3. Man can form things in his thought, and by impressing his thought upon formless substance, can cause the thing he thinks about to be created. Remember that, man, because we're creating lots of things right now because we're thinking about lots of things, right? Okay, here we go. In order to do this, man must pass from competitive to creative mind. That's easy, right? He must form a clear mental picture of the things he wants. That's easy, right? Where are we? And hold this picture in his thought with the fixed purpose to get what he wants. That's easy, right? And the unwavering faith that he does get what he wants, closing his mind against all that tend to shake his purpose, dim his vision, or quench his faith. That's easy. I've already done that. I've wiped out a lot of things right here that sort of kind of try to bring me down, man. Scary simple, right? All right, so let's keep it going. Last bit right here. That he may receive what he wants when it comes, man must act now upon the people and things in his present environment. Scary simple, right? So basically that just to me means bloom where you're planted, and we're planted everywhere right now, man. I mean, like the whole world is just open to us because of the internet, man. It's just so much fun. All right, so here we go. Here goes the other part right here, right? So we got this one right here. Okay, so this is our hi God, right? Hi God, thanks for the shine. Okay, here goes the quest, bit, script, word, go, show, flow. Okay, here we go. Increase wisdom. Okay, so let me pause. Right, so the reason why we're doing this is because of this right here. See the powers of the Psalms, right? So yesterday we were flipping through the Psalms, right? You know, or maybe this was 2 days ago, and we were flipping through the Psalms, and then we were blowing on it so then we can get some Psalms, right? You know, because we just like it as like a random generator, right? You know, and then what happened is that it stopped on Psalms 119, right? And then the title for that one is Praise for God's Wonderful Word, right? And then I was just like, yo, I'm done. I'm done, because I'm always asking for the word to come back, right? And then the word's always coming back to us in all of these wonderful ways now, man. We're just able to pick them up now, okay? You know, so then as we looked it up, we were like, oh, okay, well, what is this whole thing about, right? You know, and then it was telling us to check out this one right here, right? You know, so in the book, if you see it right there, right there, it says M-E-M, mem, right? Mem, right? So that's also or M in the letter, in the alphabet, right? You know, but it's also a letter in the Hebrew alphabet, right? You know, but then we were like, oh, okay, well, what does this even mean, right? So then we had to look that up, right? You know, and then mem originates from Egypt. It's the symbol for water. And then we were just like, oh man, that's cool. That's so cool, right? Because we're all about the living water right now, right? You know, and then you know it's the M for the alphabet, right? And then verse 97 through 104 were the key words that we were looking at, right? You know, and then we just looked at one of them, which was precept, right? P-R-E-C-E-P-T, right? Which means before. P-R-E means before, and then it means to take, right? So before, to take, right? Precept, P-R-E-K-A-P, done. That's it, man. That's where that word came from. But here goes the alternate meaning for to, aka maxim, right? You know, we were like, yo, done, right? You know, and then rule of conduct, order. That's it. We were done, man. You know, so when we figured that, you know, we figured that out, we were like, all right, we like this one, right? Because look, check this out. So we're always rolling around with the maxims of law, man. You know that because you taught us that, right? You know, and then we were like, oh, okay, let's go ahead and look it up, right? So then boom, see, check this out, right? You know, so we're going to read this. We're going to read that section right there, right? You know, and then that's in our Psalms, you know, so this is Psalms 119, right? 97 through 104. This is one that's just fun. We love this one, right? You know, so here we go. Oh, how love I thy law. That's a fact, right? It is in my meditation all day. That's a fact. 98. Though through thy commandments hast made me wiser than mine enemies, for they are ever with me. That's a fact. Or is it thou? Thou or though? Thou or though? I don't know, man. That's a fun one. T-H-O-U, right? Though through thy commandments hast made me wiser than mine enemies, for they are ever with me. That's true. Your commandments are always with me. I'm always thinking about it because I'm always thinking about love, man. Scary simple, right? 99. I have more understanding than all my teachers, for thy testimonies are my meditation. Simple, man. I love this one, right? You know, let's keep it going. 100, right? I understand more than the ancients because I keep thy precepts. I do, right? Because it's all about love, right? You know, the precept is all about love. That's the maxim. The maxim is love, okay? Let's keep it going. 101. I have refrained my feet from every evil way that I might keep thy word. That's true. You know, I've cut out a lot of people and a lot of ideas from my mind because I'm just like, yo, I don't even need to deal with it anymore because if it doesn't trace back to love, I'm done, right? I'm just going to watch you and I'm going to see what kind of fruit you produce now, right? You know, because it's just simple right now, man. You know, we just make sure that everything is always going back to love. And then if it goes back to love, we're cool. You know, scary simple, right? All right, keep it going. Yeah, 102. I have not departed from thy judgments, for thou hast taught me. That's true, right? You taught me, God. You taught me so much. Thank you, right? 103. Seriously, thank you, right? You know, 103. How sweet are thy words unto my taste. Yea, sweeter than honey to my mouth. That's so true, right? 104. Through thy precepts I get understanding, therefore I hate every false way. I'm done, man. That was cool. Mem is that water, man. So that's that water. We were just drinking that water with our thoughts, man. You know, so we were doing that, right? Because it was just fun, right? So then when you go back to this bit right here, and then when we were blowing, right? So this is what it says, right? Whenever you want to increase wisdom, read mem, right? Read mem. And then that's a script, man. That script is just powerful, right? You know, wisdom is to the mind as health to the body. The one who prays this sincerely and regularly will surely enrich the life with each reading, right? You know, so that's just a standard now, man. We like that one. That one's always going to be with us, right? You know, so we were thinking, right, and then we weren't going to do this bit, but then we need to do this bit because we were watching the screen, right, and then the screen was showing us, you know, people who were looking at their arms, man, their arms. Hold on, I gotta get a sip of tea, man. Right, so we're having tea together too, you know. So look at this. I got my code. I got my cup. Right, hold on. Let me take a sip. This one's pretty good, right? You know, so this one is the puka. I like that one. You know, the wife, she likes this one, but it's a chamomile, vanilla, and manuka honey, right? You know, so then what we did, we also put in some almond milk in here, and then it has like a hazelnut flavor to it, right? So it gives it a little sweetness, right? So like we stopped eating after 7 because we only eat from like 12 to 7, and then that's our feeding block time now, right? But then we still drink things. So we drink the tea, right? And then we drink the coffee and we drink the water, right? You know, so that's just all we do now, right? But then now we know we can hang out with you at all times because the coffee shop or the coffee house, whatever it's going to be called, Golgotha, is always going to be open because we can just come in here, pop this camera up, and then we can just go to town, man. You know, so much fun because like we're putting down these memory locks, God, right? Because like we are going to manifest everything that it is that we see in our mind into the realm, man. We're going to make it all become physical, man. And that's just what we're doing right now, right? So hold on. Let me take another sip. This is good. Good flavor, man. Right. So let me show you what's up right here. Check this out right here. Boom. Let's get that white balance. Boom. Will it go white balance? There we go. Let's lock it down. Boom. Okay. So remember that. Take a screenshot. That one's powerful, right? Boom. Let's get it out. Boom. Lock it down. Boom. Then lock down. Lock it down. There we go. Boom. Okay, so this is one of the Jotforms that we have in the link, right? You know, so you'll be able to get this one, right? But then this one is the headliner because we're going to create this, right? We've already created it because it already exists, because the Jotform already exists, because the crew already put it together, and then we're just watching things just get knocked down left and right, especially when it has to do with the Second Amendment. Our arms, man, our arms, right? You know, so this is what the poster says that Leanne put together, but it's connected to a Jotform, right? You know, so this is a Jotform, but then we're just going to read the headline, right? You know, of the Jotform, right? It says, Congress has no authority to interfere in the people's inherent right to bear arms for their protection according to their Constitution. That's a fact, man. Remember that, right? Maxim 9F. It is a liberty of free citizens to retain arms for their protection and according to their condition. That's a fact, man. Okay, here we go. Public Law 90 TAC 618, right? Title 1, State Firearms Control Assistance, October 22, 1968. Purpose. Remember this one. Purpose, right? You know, Sec 101. The Congress hereby declares that the purpose of this title is to provide support to federal, state, and local law enforcement officials in their fight against crime and violence. And it is not the purpose of this title to place any undue or unnecessary federal restrictions or burdens on law-abiding citizens with respect to acquisitions, possession, or use of firearms appropriate to the purpose of hunting, trap shooting, target shooting, personal protection, right, or any other lawful activity, and that this title is not intended to discourage or eliminate the private ownership or use of firearms by law-abiding citizens for lawful purposes, right? You know, or provide for the imposition, repeat, or provide for the imposition by federal regulations of any procedures or requirements other than those reasonably necessary to implement and effectuate the provisions of this title, man. You know, that's a fact, man. That's from the People v. Horton 264 NYS 8488. Done, right? You know, so that's the headline for this notice and demand to cease and desist from attacking the people's rights to protect themselves and states, right? You know, so that's the notice, man. You know, so when you hear these words, right, you're going to have a duty and an obligation to click that link, right? You know, fill out that job form and then get this into our public servants, man, because we have to instruct them, man. We have to instruct them all the time, right? You know, so we're doing this for a purpose and a reason right here. We're doing okay on time, right? So we're going to build something. Right, we're going to show you something, right? So we went online and then we went and we checked out, you know, well, what is the federal firearms license, right? You know, the FFL, you know, because this is what set this one off, is that because we saw something on the screen where it was saying that, oh, you know, the FFL, you know, businesses or gun shops that have FFLs are, you know, they're being denied. They're being denied. And we were like, well, what does this even mean? Let's look this FFL up, right? You know, because we're always hearing all those 2A people go, blah, 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 FFL license, blah, blah, blah. You got to have an FFL if you want to do this with your weapon or your arms. And we're like, what is this stuff that they're talking about, man? Yeah, hold on, let me take a sip. So we were like, let's go ahead and look up what the federal firearms license is, right? So we looked it up and it just says a federal firearms license, FFL, is a license, right? You know, license is no law, right? In the United States that enables an individual or company to engage in business pertaining to the manufacture or importation of firearms and ammunition or the interstate and intrastate sale of firearms, man. You know, so this sounds like it's a commercial thing, man. You know, so we were looking at the FFL, you know, and we were like, oh, this sounds like it's a commercial thing, right? You know, so I don't know what that has to do with we the people, because we the people are free, right? You know, so then we were like, okay, let's keep it moving. And then we were reading this, and then we were saying, it says, holding an FFL to engage in certain such activities has been a legal requirement within the United States since the enactment of the Gun Control Act of 1968, right? You know, so now we're seeing that this is a legal thing, right? So now we're like, oh, okay, you know, so now our eyes are watching because we're thinking like, this sounds like a job that lawyers were interfering with right here, right? So then we were like, okay, let's just keep going, right? And then we were looking at the Gun Control Act of 1968, right? You know, and then here's what the long title of this is right here. It says, an act to amend Title 18 United States Code to provide for better control of the interstate traffic in arms, man. Right, so here, let me get this on the screen too, right? Boom, check that out. You see that? Right there, right there, right? Boom, let's go ahead and white balance that back. All right, boom. Okay, so the Gun Control Act of 1968, you know, it has all to do with commerce, right? You know, so we're just like, okay, you know, so now we know that there's businesses out there who make arms, right? You know, who make the arms, right? But then they call them guns, right? You know, but then they say State Firearms Control Assistance Act, right? But then we see that it only has to do with better control of the interstate traffic of firearms, right? So we're just like, well, this sounds like it's a commercial thing, right? You know, so then we were like, well, what exactly is, right? Because when you scroll down right here, it says, is a U.S., the Gun Control Act of 1968 is a U.S. federal law, right? Federal laws don't have anything to do with we the people, right? That regulates the firearms industry and firearms owners, right? And we're just like, wait, what? What are you talking about, right? You know, so you have a federal law, right, that can regulate firearms, and we're like, well, what are firearms? What are firearms? What is a firearm industry, right? And then I'm just like, yo, this just sounds like trickery to me right here, right? Then I'm like, well, what is a firearms owner, right? Because I'm just thinking, about the Second Amendment, how, the right to bear arms shall not be infringed, man. It's like, you can't take my arms away from me, man. Like, what do you think that you're trying to do, right? But then if you want to trick me and then you want to call it a firearm, then you're like, oh, okay, well, you have control over firearms because that sounds like a word that you created, right? So we just kept it going, right? And then check this out right here. Boom, you see that? Look at that picture right there, the firearm, right? And then you have a woman right there with a firearm, also called just an arm, right? So a firearm is a portable gun being a barreled weapon. So we stopped right there because we were like, okay, it's a barreled gun, but then or a barreled weapon, right? So we were like, well, let's look up weapon, right? So boom, so check this out, right? You see this? Boom, weapon, right? Weapon. So then we went and then we looked up weapon, right? And then weapon, arm. Okay, so a weapon is an arm. A weapon is an arm. And then we were just done right there, right? Because now we're seeing that a federal arm, this is supposed to, so the way that if you look at that, a federal firearms license, they're basically adding the word fire to arms, right? And then they're calling it a federal arms license, right? So then once we figured that out, we were like, oh, this is completely against the law, right? Because every man, every woman, the people, we have the right to protect ourselves, man, period, right? The end. So now if the lawyers and in our public servants have created this trickery by calling our arms firearms or our arms guns or our arms something else, and then they're moving it outside of the jurisdiction of we the people, then we're going to get you, man. We're going to get you, right? So then, this is what we did, right? Because we love doing this, right? Look, check this out. So we like going to Article 1, California Constitution, right? And then right there, here, look at this, right? So then we scrolled right here to Section 1, right? So we're hanging out in Section 1 of the California Constitution, and we're looking at all people are by nature free. Done, right? We're all free. All the people are free by God. Thank you, God. Seriously, right? And independent and have inalienable rights, right? These are things you can't take away, right? This is what they are. Among these are enjoying and defending life, right? How do you defend your life? How do you defend your life, right? So if you have something or an entity coming at you, don't you use your arms? Don't you use your arms to defend your life? And you'll be like, whoa, get back, man. Get back, get back. However you want to use your arms, this is how you use your arms to defend your property. Your body is your property, right? That's just one of the many things that is called property, right? Defending life and liberty, acquiring, possessing and protecting property, and pursuing and obtaining safety, happiness, and privacy, right? So we were like, oh, okay, that's cool. We know what's up with that, right? So now we're trying to understand, like, how is it that our public servants are telling other businesses that they cannot have a federal firearms license, right? We're like, there's something going on right now, right? But then we were just like, look, now we went to Section 3 of the California Constitution. Here, I'll show you right here, right? You see that? Text of Section 3 right there. Boom. Okay, so we're going to read that, right? What it says is that the people have the right to instruct their representatives, petition government for redress of grievances, and assemble freely to consult for the common good, right? So all of the people, we the people, we can come together and we can consult with each other for the common good. Whatever it is that we wish to talk about as a people, we can do that, man, as long as we assemble together, right? So then, like, what we're doing right now is a form of assembly, because we're talking, right? And then we're putting our tracks out there so then that way it can live on the internet. It's almost like a form of a public notice, man. Scary simple, right? So look, we're going to just keep it moving on the California Constitution. And then we're going to scroll down to another part right here, right? Because you already know that the people can assemble, right? We can consult for the common good. Duh, right? Here goes another part right here. Check this out, right? This is fun, right? You see that? Section 9, right there. Section 9, right? So Section 9 says this right here, right? A bill of attainder ex post facto law or law impairing the obligation of contracts may not be passed, right? think about it like this, man. So like if you're one of the people and then you're trying to go out there into your market, right? Because we have a market, because that's what we created our public servants for. We created our public servants to help keep our market safe, right? And then one of those entities that lives in our markets, right, are called gun manufacturers, right? So we the people, have gun manufacturers in our markets, right? So we have the ability to go contract with our gun manufacturers out there, right? Or our arms manufacturers, right? So we're trying to understand now, how is it that our public servants are making it difficult for our gun manufacturers to contract with we the people, because they're trying to say is that, hey, if you want to do interstate commerce, you better get this license, right? And then you got to make sure that you're doing what does they call it, the ATF, right? Whatever, it's an agency, it's a delegated power, a deputy of delegated power, which means they have no power. We don't even have to talk about them, right? Because delegated power has no power, man. Deputies have no power. They have no power. They're just public servants, right? So now we're seeing that they're interfering with the ability for we the people to contract, right? And we're just like, oh man, this is just crazy, right? So check this out, right? So then we went here, boom, you see this? Hey, Justia, check this out. We got that New York State Rifle and Pistol, right? So this is that New York State Rifle and Pistol Association, Inc. versus Bruen, 597 US, TAC 2022, right? So this one just came out, man, and this one's just been shaking up the whole realm right now, man, because we're just watching the people's ability to get their arms back is just coming back all over the place, right? So check this out right here, right? So we're just going to read this paragraph right here and there, put it on the track, man, so you can see what we see, right? Here's what it says. It says the Supreme Court reversed the dismissal of the suit, right? New York's proper cause requirement violates the 14th Amendment by preventing law-abiding citizens with ordinary self-defense needs from exercising their Second Amendment right to keep and bear arms in public for self-defense. Man, that's a fact, okay? The historical evidence from antebellum America does demonstrate that the manner of public carry was subject to reasonable regulation, but none of these limitations on the right to bear arms operated to prevent law-abiding citizens with ordinary self-defense needs from carrying arms in public for that purpose, man. That means you can't stop the people, okay? The court stated that the constitutional right to bear arms in public for self-defense is not a second-class right. Repeat, it's not a second-class right, subject to an entirely different body of rules than the other Bill of Rights guarantees, okay? The exercise of other constitutional rights does not require individuals to demonstrate to government officers some special need, man, right? So all of this time, the people have been going out and then they've been looking for their arms, man. We've been looking for our arms, right? But then what has happened is that our public servants have created up rules and regulations, no laws, for our corporations to operate within the commercial realm, and then they've hindered us, right? They've interfered with our rights. They've deprived we the people of our rights to get our arms, man, and then they're still trying to do it in all these other weird ways, right? But now with this case right here, with that New York State Rifle and Pistol Association, Inc. v. Bruen, right? That came out in 2022. It changes the whole game, man, right? Because it's letting them know that they cannot interfere with the Second Amendment, man. It's so easy now, right? So check this out, right? So this is what set it off, right? Boom. See that right there? Right? Look at that, right? You see that? Okay, so this is what got me all amped up and then got me on the screen, to talk, right? Because I was like, what's up with these people, man? Right. So here, look at what this says right here. So this is coming from the USA Today, right? The USA Today, and then this date is October 5, 2022, right? And then it says right here, oh, excuse me, this is fun. Okay, it says, New data shows ATF gun store revocation at highest rate in 16 years, man. So what does this even mean? It says the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, right? That's called delegated power. Deputy. That is a deputy of delegated power, right? Because if that falls under the executive, right? So the way that the hierarchy of the realm goes like this is that, God created the world, right? And then God created man, woman, child, the people, right? And then the people created constitutions, and then the constitutions created the government, and then the government was created so then that way it can manage the jurisdiction of our commercial realms, right? That's it, right? That's all they do, right? So our government was created to manage our commercial jurisdiction to make sure that we, the people, don't get harmed, right? And in all of our commercial jurisdiction is where all the corporations and all the businesses and all them playing, right? Because then they are able to set up shops. So then we, the people, can go and say, oh, show me what you have. Let me see what you have. And let me see what you have. And then they provide us with goods and services that keep us happy, man. It's so simple, right? So with this bit right here, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, the ATF, right, is revoking gun store licenses, right, at a higher rate in 2022 than in any other year since 2006, right, according to the data published, right? So they're pulling licenses from these gun stores, that allow them to be able to sell weapons, right? So now they cannot sell the weapons, so what they're doing right now is that they're interfering with the people's ability to bear arms, right? Because where do we get our weapons from? Where do we get our arms from, right? We get them from the stores, right? So this is how the trickery goes on, right? So what happens is that, all of our commercial stores, operate under the Constitution, right? And then the Constitution has the laws in it that says, we the people are free by nature. By nature means by God, right? So what they're doing now is that they're using the jurisdiction of our public servants to try to regulate and control we the people, right? But they can't do that, man, because we're just showing them what's up right now. Scary simple, right? So the reason why I was showing you this, right, is because we got an ability to contract, right? They can't stop us from contracting from anyone. They can't stop us from associating with anyone, right? And then Bruen is showing that, right? And just because the data is showing that ATF gun store revocation is at the highest rate, that doesn't mean that we the people can't go out there and then contract with these gun stores, right? So we have the ability to go and then create contracts, right? We can go and create contracts for our private membership associations with all of these stores out here, right? We don't have to worry about, them having a license to be able to distribute firearms. We don't even have to worry about that because we have the ability to contract with anyone and anything at any time, and that's just what the people have the ability to do, right? So now that we know this, we went and then we did a search, right? So we went and then we searched. We were like, what are the top gun companies in the USA, right? So then we got this right here. Check this out. You see that? Boom, right there. That says marketing boy, right? So boom, here we go. Let's lock it down. We're doing okay on time, right? So this says the top 10 best gun companies in the USA, right? Look at the first paragraph right here. It says the history of guns and its culture is synonymous with the USA. That's a fact, right? Guns were very much used in the Great American Revolution. That's a fact, man, right? Okay, so then we were just looking at what the best gun companies in the U.S., right? Number 10, Savage Arms, right? That's one that was founded in 1894, right? That's in Massachusetts, okay? Check this one out right here. Number 9, Springfield Armory, Inc., right? That was founded in 1974. They're coming from Illinois, right? Here goes another one right here. Number 8, Beretta, right? This one was established in Italy almost 500 years ago, but it operates in several countries, which means it has a place here where it can do too, right? What is this? A Beretta has the rarest distinction of supplying arms to every major war in Europe since 1650. What? You guys have been around for a long time, man. They're number 8, right? Number 6, Colt Defense, right? They're coming from Connecticut, right? So Connecticut-based Colt Manufacturer LLC was formed in 1855. Okay, look at this. Okay, that was number 7. Number 6, Mossberg, right? Whenever you think about those shotguns, hold on, let me take a sip, man. We're always thinking about those Mossbergs, right? You know, we have one. We like the pump action. They're just fun, right? You know, yeah, the company is a century-old firearms manufacturer. Another one from Connecticut, man. Okay, let's keep it going. Right, here we go. Number 5, Heckler and Koch. Right, this is a German's arm manufacturer major from Baden-Württemberg. Right, they were established in 1949. You know, and then it has a spot in USA, UK, and France. Okay, let's keep it going. Number 5, Sig Sauer, right? That's a funny name. The name of these firearms major from Germany, right? Another one. This one's coming from Germany, but then they got a spot out here too in America, right? You know, here goes another one, Sturm, Ruger and Co., right? You know, this one's coming from Connecticut too. They were established in 1949. Here goes another one, Remington Outdoor. You know, oh, they were established in 2007. At North Carolina. Okay, Remington has acquired some of the highly respected brands in the guns. I guess they just got some guns. Bushmaster, DPMS, Remington, Marlin Farms. Yeah, they just have a bunch of people, right? And then here goes number 1. You know, number 1 is Smith & Wesson, right? You know, undoubtedly the number 1 global as well as in the USA. Smith & Wesson is Massachusetts based, right? You know, so here's the bit, man. You know, this is what I'm seeing right now, you know, is that we the people have the ability to contract with all of these companies right here, right? You know, so we the people can go and we can contract with these companies as private membership associations, right? You know, so then we can get as many type of arms as we wish, man. And then what we do is that we free these companies up from them having to even worry about having an FFL, right? Because we don't wish to have an FFL with them. We just want to go do trade with them, right? We want them to show us what it is that they have, right? We want them to be like, hey, let me see your arms, man. You know, we heard you got some cool arms, man. Show us what's up, right? You know, so as long as we have a contract with you, we're going to be free. You know, you guys are going to be free, and then we can do all the business and all the trade that we want, man, as long as we're in the private, right? You know, so we will just move you over into the private jurisdiction, and then we're going to have so much fun, man. I mean, it's really that easy, you know, so when you sit up here and then you worry, you know, you don't have to worry about the data shows that ATF gun store revocations at the highest rate in 16 years. We don't care, right? We don't care, right? You know, so we can go and then we can contract. We have an ability to contract with anyone, anything, right? No government entity can stop we the people from contracting. No government entity can stop we the people from getting our arms, right? No government entity can stop we the people from doing anything that we want as long as we don't harm man, woman, or child, man. Done. It's simple. It's done, right? You know, because, you know, God created this world, right? Government didn't create this world, right? We the people created constitutions that created the governments because the governments are creatures of we the people, man. We created you. We created you. You don't get to tell us what to do. We tell you guys what to do, man. And then that's just how it is, man. So, you know, when you see our public servants go on the screen and go, blah, 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 you know, weapons of war. We're like, what are you guys talking about, right? You know, like, who gave you this script? You know, what is a weapon of war, right? You know, it's like, we're talking about arms, man, right? And you're talking about something else, man. You're trying to do some magic that doesn't work, man. And then now we know what's up. And then now you should know what's up, right? And then you know, because there's a notice. There's a notice in this description. There is a notice that all you have to do is click on that link, go to that job form, fill out that job form, mail it out to your public servant, and then ask them, who's your daddy? That's it. Say, are you my master? Right? Did you create me? Right? Because I know God created me. You didn't create me. Right? So you don't get to protect me. You don't get to tell me how I can protect myself, because God told me I have dominion over the whole realm, man. Simple, right? Because all men, all women, all children, we're all little G's, man. We were all created in the image of God, man. And then once you know that, you're going to be free, right? So basically, that's it. I think that's it right there, right? So this is it, man. I'm going to just show you one more time, right? You see this, right? You see this, right? And then if you scroll right there, that's the job form, right? Just go click on the link, go fill that out, and you're going to be free, right? You're going to be able to get your weapons, and then your arms, right? You get your arms, right? And then what you do is that you go and then you talk to these gun manufacturers. Write them and say, hey, what's up? I'm one of the people, right? I wish to do trade with you guys, right? I wish to do trade with you guys. I wish to set up some type of contract with you, right? Because we're private and we want to do things in the private with you, man. That's it. That's all we wish to do, because we're the people. We are the creators. We are the masters of all constitutions, right? Not our public servants, not our governments, right? Not the delegated power. They have nothing to do with it. All they need to do is make sure that everything is flowing smooth, man. That's it. They just need to make sure that it's flowing smooth, and then we, the people, aren't getting harmed, man, by their stupidity. That's it. So, I'm cool, man. I'm cool on this one, right? Because basically, I wanted to create this, right? Because this is in my mind, right? Remember this, right? Because man can form things in his thought, and by impressing his thought upon formless substance can cause the thing he thinks about to be created, right? So the things that I'm thinking about right now is I'm thinking that we, the people, must have contracts, right? We must have contracts ready to roll, ready to go, and then we send them out to our gun manufacturers, right? And then we send them out as private membership associations. And then what we have is that we're bringing private members to be able to come look and then see what you guys have. That's all we wish to do, man, is that we just wish to bring private members to come see what you guys have. And then we want to talk to you guys in the private, man. Scary simple, right? We don't wish to have any type of our government servants to be involved in our affairs and our contracts that we wish to do with you, man. Scary simple service, right? So that's it. I'm done with this bit, man. So just know we the people are awake right now. We're not asleep. Don't be afraid. Don't be scared, right? Don't worry about, them. Like, there's more than enough jobs out there, right? Because we can create jobs like that, right? We can create jobs like that, right? Because we can create private membership associations like that, because we can create contracts like that. So you don't have to worry about anything, right? It just depends on who you associate with, man. So you can either choose to associate with the men and women of God, or you can choose to associate with Mammon. Right? If you associate with Mammon, you're going to have to fall under their jurisdiction. And then we're the masters of their jurisdiction too, because we, the people, created the constitutions for them to function in. Scary simple, right? Or you can come over, hang out with we, the people, because we're private, man. We're having fun, man. We're having so much fun, right? Because this is what you call like an awakening, right? Because once the people woke up, we woke up, and then we realized that we're free. And then we realized that we're in the image of God, right? And then we realized that, God gave us dominion over everything. And then we realized that all law is based off of love, right? All law hangs off of love, right? So if a law doesn't go back to love, then that means it's no law, no go, no show, right? And then who do we learn that from? From our Lord. Our Lord is Jesus Christ. That's our hierarchy, man. We got God, we got Lord Jesus Christ, and we got Holy Ghost, man. That's our squad. That's who we roll with, right? So now we just wish to find out who you guys roll with, man. So, that's what's up, So now that you know what's up, right? You know who you are, right? Because if you associate with we the people, then that means you're going to be one of the people, man. And you're going to be free. You're going to have so much fun. It's going to be so cool, man. So that's it. I'm going to put this together. I'm going to upload it. Then I'm going to watch it. And I'm going to hear how the flow goes, man. Because we just like this one, because we just wanted to create something, that we know that we can do, easily. So easy, man. You know, it's just so easy. A caveman can do it. All right. I'll talk to you guys in the future. Remember, nobody's having more fun than us. Bye.